started becoming part of my routines before I ever called it anything at all. Like checking my phone first thing in the morning, or hearing your voice after difficult days. And I remember thinking how strange it was that talking to you made the world feel quieter, like somehow life softened around the edges whenever your tension settled on me. There were nights we stayed awake too long, talking about childhood fears and future plans. And somewhere between those exhausted conversations, my heart began choosing you without permission. No sudden spark, no dramatic realization, just closeness growing slowly into something undeniable. I loved you before I understood it, before I had language for what I felt, before your name started carrying warmth in ways I could never explain to anyone else. And maybe that's why it felt so natural, like my soul had already made the decision first. Because by the time I finally recognized the feeling, I had already been yours for months. You became the person I saved stories for, little meaningless things throughout the day. A song lyric, a strange dream, a passing thought that only felt complete once it reached you. And you listened in that careful way you did, like nothing about me was ever too small, like even my quietest emotions deserve space inside the softness of your attention. I think love often begins invisibly, not in fireworks or cinematic scenes, but through repetition, through safety, through slowly becoming emotionally necessary to someone. No single moment changed everything, just thousands of tiny moments quietly adding up. I loved you before I understood it, before I realized how often I thought of you, before every future I imagined naturally started placing your face somewhere inside it too. And now looking back, it seems so obvious, like my heart knew long before my mind could speak. Because some feelings arrive fully formed in silence, and only later teach us what they mean. Maybe real love is gentle at first, maybe it enters so softly we mistake it for comfort, until one day the idea of losing someone feels like losing part of the emotional structure of your life. And suddenly you understand that home was never a place, it was simply wherever they were. I loved you before I understood it, before I knew people could feel this deeply, before ordinary moments beside another person could become the safest place in the world to be. And even if one day life moves us apart somehow, I think this love will always remain true, because the most honest thing my heart has ever done was quietly choosing you. Before I understood it, before I had words, I was already yours. You stopped telling me about the smaller parts of your day, the things that used to arrive naturally, like what you bought for dinner or who annoyed you at work. Tiny details that once always found me. And nothing happened loudly between us. No slammed doors, no terrible fight. Just longer pauses growing in our conversations, like something dimming slowly out of sight. I remember sitting next to you one evening while a movie played neither of us watched, and realizing the silence felt different somehow, like we were both somewhere else entirely. I think the saddest kind of leaving happens before anybody actually goes. And I knew it was ending before it ended. In the quiet way you stopped reaching for my hand, in the softness disappearing from your voice, like love slowly loosening where it used to stand. There was no single moment I could point to, just 1,000 tiny absences appearing, and somehow that hurt more than goodbye itself, watching us slowly disappear while still being here. You still said I love you before sleeping, but it sounded more like habit than belief. And I hated myself for noticing the difference, like recognizing it would make it real. I kept trying to resurrect the feeling through old restaurants and familiar streets, but memories are terrible at saving people once their hearts have already started leaving. And maybe you were hurting too in silence. Maybe neither of us knew what to say, because sometimes love doesn't collapse all at once. Sometimes it just quietly fades. No betrayal, no dramatic ending, just two people slowly becoming lonely together. And I knew it was ending before it ended. I could feel it in the spaces between words, and how we stopped looking at each other fully, like eye contact itself had started hurting. And every night beside you felt heavier somehow, like holding on to something already falling apart, because the hardest thing I've ever witnessed was love slowly leaving while I still had your heart. I used to think heartbreak arrived suddenly, like storms or shattered glass, but now I think it comes quietly, through repetition, through distance, through silence, lasting slightly longer each time, until one day you wake up beside someone you still love and realize they've already begun disappearing. And I knew it was ending before it ended, before the goodbye finally came, before your side of the bed turned cold forever, before missing you became my new name. And maybe that's why it still hurts so deeply, not because you left, but because I watched you leave slowly, while pretending not to notice some endings happen twice, first in the heart, then in real life. I passed the street where we used to get coffee, the one with the crooked tables by the glass. And without thinking, I almost walked inside, like some part of me still expected us. It happens more than I would like admitting. These small reflexes love leaves in the body, like knowing exactly how you'd answer something, or reaching for memories automatically. And I don't miss you loudly anymore, not like before when everything still burned. Now it's softer, stranger, harder to explain, like carrying a feeling that never fully turns off. I guess some people don't completely leave us, even after they've gone. Because I think about you in quiet ways, in elevators, grocery stores, passing songs, and little pauses during ordinary days, where your name still appears without a cause. And sometimes it almost makes me smile, how naturally my mind still goes to you, like love became a habit of thinking that my heart still hasn't unlearned to do. I still remember the exact way you listened, like every word mattered once it reached you. And maybe that's what I miss more than anything, being understood so completely without trying to. The world keeps moving like it always promised. People fall apart and keep going anyway. But there are evenings where the silence feels familiar, in the same way your apartment used to feel safe. And I know enough time has probably passed now for me to speak about us differently. But love does not obey the rules of logic. It stays in places reason cannot reach. No dramatic grief, just your memory woven quietly into everyday life. So I think about you in quiet ways, when rain hits windows late at night, or when somebody laughs the way you used to. And for a second everything feels alive. And maybe that's not sadness anymore, maybe it's just what real love becomes, not disappearing completely after ending, just learning how to exist more softly in someone. I used to think moving on meant erasing, like healing required forgetting every part. But maybe healing is simply carrying someone without letting the weight destroy your heart. Maybe love can remain without belonging, maybe memory can ache and still be kind. Maybe some people stay with us forever, not physically, but quietly, in the architecture of the mind. And I will probably think about you always, not constantly, not enough to stop my life, just in these gentle, unexpected moments where the past returns for a little while. Because loving you changed something permanent in me, something time itself could never move. And now the world feels slightly more beautiful, simply because it once contained you. Not every love story ends loudly, some just echo softly forever. Tender man, dun, 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 dun. saw a dog outside your favorite bookstore and almost took a picture like I used to do, before remembering halfway through the motion that I don't send little things to you anymore. It's strange, the habits that survive a heartbreak, how the body keeps repeating what love taught, like turning toward your side of every silence, even after losing who you talk to. I still hear your voice in certain moments, especially late at night when I can't sleep, like my mind kept building spaces shaped around you, and now doesn't know what else they're meant to keep. I thought healing would feel like forgetting, but mostly it just feels like remembering more quietly. Because I still tell you things inside my head, small things, meaningless things, ordinary moments, like how the sky looked leaving work tonight, or how I finally fixed that broken cabinet. And sometimes for a second it still feels natural, like somewhere you were listening like before. Then reality arrives so softly, I almost don't notice myself hurting anymore. Your number's still the first result when I start typing, like my phone remembers us better than I do. And every once in a while my hand forgets the ending before my heart has time to stop it too. I wonder if you carry me in little ways still, if certain songs still pull you back to me, or if loving me became something distant, like a city you once lived in briefly. And maybe that's what makes this all so difficult, not the ending itself, not even being alone, but learning there are parts of everyday life now that no longer have a place to go. No dramatic sadness, just quiet absence, repeating itself forever. So I still tell you things inside my head, even though the conversations never happen, even though your side stays permanently silent, even though I know I should move on by now. Because some people become part of your thinking in ways distance cannot fully undo. And losing you did not stop the love completely, it just removed the place I used to put it. I used to believe missing someone would lessen gradually, like waves shrinking after storms. But grief is stranger and softer than that. It hides in ordinary moments, and seeing something beautiful and still instinctively wanting to share it with one specific person. And I still tell you things inside my head while walking home alone through tired city streets, like somehow part of me still lives inside the version of the world where you still belong to me. And maybe one day these thoughts will stop appearing. Maybe silence will finally feel complete. But tonight your memory still answers softly. Every time my heart begins to speak, you are gone, but somehow I'm still talking to you. exactly when it happened. When your voice started feeling like relief, or when bad days became more survivable. Just because I knew eventually you'd speak to me. You arrived in my life without announcement. No dramatic entrance, no perfect timing, just slowly becoming part of every ordinary day, until happiness started sounding a little like your name. I remember one exhausted evening in November. You fell asleep while we were still on the phone, and I stayed awake listening to your breathing, thinking I had never felt less alone. There was no single moment love appeared, just comfort growing quietly into something deeper. You became my favorite part of living, somewhere between the late night conversations and all the little moments no one else would notice, like sharing silence without needing to fill it. You became the person every thought returned to, without effort, without warning, without trying, and somehow every ordinary day beside you started feeling softer than the life I knew before it. I started seeing pieces of you everywhere, in songs and books and passing strangers on the street. Not because they truly looked or sounded like you, but because my mind had learned your shape completely. You noticed sadness before I ever mentioned it, the quiet kind I tried to hide beneath humor. And when the world felt too loud to survive inside, you made existence feel gentler somehow. I think that's what love really is, beneath everything. Not obsession, not fireworks, not grand displays, just finding one specific person who makes reality feel easier to carry every day. No sudden revelation, just your presence becoming essential slowly. You became my favorite part of living, in all the calm, unnoticed ways, in morning messages and tired evenings, and all the small routines that built our days. And now even the memory of you feels warm somehow, like light remaining after sunset disappears, because loving you changed the atmosphere around me in ways I know I'll carry for years. Maybe the deepest love stories are quiet ones, the kind that don't announce themselves loudly. They just slowly rearrange your inner world until another person lives inside your peace. And maybe that's why losing people hurts so deeply, because before the heartbreak and the grief, they become part of your understanding of happiness, part of your emotional gravity. You became my favorite part of living, and even now I still mean that honestly, because no matter where life carries both of us, a softer version of me exists because you existed too. And if someday all these memories begin fading, if time turns us into distant names, I still think some part of my heart will recognize yours, the way homesickness recognizes places. No perfect beginning, no final grand goodbye, just you changing my life quietly over time. still ask me how my day was every evening. Still sit beside me on the edge of the bed. Still laugh politely at the same old stupid stories. Still kiss my forehead before sleeping like before. But something underneath it all has shifted. Something quiet I can't fully explain. Like we're performing versions of ourselves now, trying to imitate what love looked like back then. And I keep noticing these tiny changes. The way your eyes drift somewhere when I speak. How silence stays a little longer between us. How comfort slowly started feeling weak. I wish heartbreak looked more obvious. I wish love left loudly when it goes. But you don't love me the way you used to. I can feel it in the spaces in between, in the softness disappearing from your touch, in all the ways you hear but don't quite reach me. And I keep trying not to say it out loud, like silence could somehow make it untrue. But the hardest thing I've ever had to learn is watching someone slowly stop loving you. I remember when you looked at me differently, like I was your favorite part of being alive. Back when every little thing became a conversation, and staying up together still felt easy. Now we sit across from one another quietly, both pretending nothing's really wrong, while every ordinary moment keeps confirming the feeling we've both known for far too long. And maybe this is just what happens sometimes. Maybe love was never built to stay unchanged. But knowing that doesn't make it hurt less. It just gives the sadness another name. No betrayal, no cruelty, just distance growing carefully between two people. 'Cause you don't love me the way you used to. Not with that warmth that once lived in your eyes. Not with the kind of closeness that made silence feel safe, or made ordinary nights feel bright. And I think part of me keeps mourning while sitting right beside you every day, because losing someone slowly is its own specific kind of pain. I used to think love ended in dramatic moments, in slammed doors and unforgettable words. But now I think it leaves more quietly than that. Through habits changing, through pauses growing, through tenderness fading so slowly, you barely notice it disappear. Until one day you realize the person beside you has already started living somewhere emotionally far away. And you don't love me the way you used to, even if neither of us wants to say it yet. Even if we keep reaching for each other out of memory more than feeling now. And maybe we will survive this distance. Maybe we'll learn how to retouch somehow. But tonight your voice sounds unfamiliar, and I don't know what to do about it now. You're still here, but somehow I already miss you. You were sitting cross-legged on my kitchen counter, talking about a movie neither of us finished. And I remember watching you instead of listening, thinking quietly that happiness looked a lot like this. But I never said anything important out loud. I kept turning feelings into smaller words. Like maybe if I acted normal long enough, my heart would stop leaning toward yours. We had that kind of closeness without naming it. Late night calls and accidental honesty, the kind where silence never felt uncomfortable, the kind people lose without realizing what it means. And maybe you knew, maybe you were waiting too. But I think I missed my chance with you, somewhere between fear and hesitation, between almost saying something real and convincing myself to stay patient. Now your name feels different in my mouth, like something I can touch but never hold. And I replay every small unfinished moment, trying to hear the words I never told. Started mentioning someone else more often, not carefully, not trying to make me hurt, just naturally, the way people speak when they don't know what another person deserves. And I smiled like it didn't change the atmosphere, like something inside me hadn't just dropped, while all the tiny hopes I carried quietly began dissolving one by one without a sound. It's strange how grief can exist for something you never technically even had, like mourning a future that almost happened, or missing a home you never reached. There was never a dramatic ending, just distance growing little by little. And I think I missed my chance with you. In all the moments I stayed careful, while love was asking softly to be spoken, and I kept choosing to be fearful. Now every memory feels slightly heavier, every room we shared feels harder to walk through, because nothing hurts quite like discovering you could have been loved too. I used to believe timing was everything, but maybe courage matters more. Maybe love needs someone willing to unlock what they're standing at the door for. And maybe you would have stayed, maybe everything would still become this anyway. But I think part of me will always wonder what might have happened if I'd said your name differently. So now I carry you through ordinary evenings, through quiet drives and sleepless nights alone. And every beautiful thing reminds me slightly of the life I almost called my own, because loving you is never the hard part. The hard part was letting you never know. And I think I missed my chance with you so gently, almost didn't notice it go. No goodbye, no slam